Today I'm going to be talking about the two main issues with these KAQ Christmas lights that I recently purchased online. Now, the first one is going to be the fact that it requires batteries and it's not going to come with any. So each of these, this is going to be a 4-pack that I purchased. Each of these is going to require 3 AA batteries. So you're going to need a total of 12 AA batteries. Now, having AA batteries is not the end of the world, of course, right? A lot of us have them just, kind of laying around the house, use them for a variety of different, remotes or kids' toys or those sorts of things, right? But the problem is that over time, those batteries are going to run out pretty quickly when you're talking about running these LED fairy lights, not solar, these fairy lights. So you're going to be putting in the batteries, right? Okay, no big deal. I'm going to grab 3 batteries, so I need 12 batteries total. But then these are going to run out, especially if you're decorating with these over the holiday season. So I definitely would prefer if these were rechargeable or had like even a plug-in option that you could use if you chose to, right? There's no other option besides using the batteries with these. So it's not like you could use the batteries and then could also use something else. It is only going to be battery power. And the next issue is just going to be an issue with the wire itself. Now, because this is going to be a copper wire, it's real easy for it to get kinked. Here's a kink right here. It's just going to get kind of bent out of shape. And so you have to kind of maneuver it a little bit. It'll often kind of get bent when you are either unwrapping it or wrapping it up. Now, this does come with this little, it's kind of like wrapped up like that. So you feel like that should be easy, right? But if you are not careful, right? So if you just start from both ends and start pulling it out, what you end with is a giant mess. And I know that because that's exactly what I did. So I untied this. So it's got this little bit like kind of wrapped around. It's got this little twist. So I undid that. And then I just started kind of pulling it out from both ends. And in the middle, it took me probably 5+ minutes just to unravel this little bit, which is about 20 foot or so, to unravel this little bit of fairy light on just this singular one. And even though I did that, because of the wire, I've got some bends in it, right? So here's another one. It's just kind of like the wire's bent, which that's going to shorten the life on this wire. Let me just kind of see if I can find one. I'm just kind of running my fingers through here. That's the bulb. But you can kind of see, okay, see how it's kind of crinked there? That's because I had the exact same thing happen. It just crinked up. So what happens is this is just gets really tangled really easily. And so what would be, oh, okay, this is just kind of like through it. The problem is it'll often just kind of get wrapped on itself. So this might get wrapped on that. This might get wrapped on that. And so that makes reusing these a little bit more difficult if you aren't careful. What I've found works well with these fairy lights when you are done with them is to take something and wrap them around it. So maybe that is like a tube, right? Like a toilet paper tube, or maybe even a paper towel tube to kind of wrap it around there. So tape your end onto that and then just wrap around. You could use dowels, you could use a ton of different things, but wrapping it around means you only have one end that you're continuing with, this end here, and then you know where you begin and where you end because your end is taped. So it makes it a lot easier to use next time. If you just kind of go willy-nilly when you're wrapping it up, trying to reuse these is definitely a pain. So those are really the only two major cons with these KAQ fairy lights.